Blizzard has been facing PR disaster after PR disaster, and they've become pretty well known for not knowing how to read a room. The Blitzchung situation blew up, Diablo Immortal's announcement was a failure, and one thing they love to do is censor useless things in games even when thousands of people say the changes are pointless. Blizzard has censored Hearthstone cards, characters in World of Warcraft, and now they're censoring paintings in WoW, and unsurprisingly, they're being roasted on the internet for it because they're facing a lot of public scrutiny right now, yet this is what they're doing, hoping that it will make people happy with them again. I have a couple of different articles I want to read and a lot of examples of censorship, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month or supporting via memberships. All of the links are in the description. And of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I wanted to start off with this article from Gaming Bible. It says, WoW in-game art changed to remove sexual imagery. It says 2 paintings in World of Warcraft have now been changed to tone down the sexualization in the game, in a move that's probably as a response to the lawsuit that Activision is grappling with at the moment. In its own statement about the fallout of the lawsuit, the team behind one of the most popular MMORPGs in the world said they had felt sadness, pain, and anger, but also hope and resolve. Marking a new chapter in the game, the developer relayed that players would see changes to Shadowlands and WoW Classic in the interest of rebuilding trust between it and its community. So they've decided to come out and openly say they're going to be making changes to World of Warcraft Classic and also the newer version of the game, the new expansions like Shadowlands. They're going to be going through all of the content in the game and just kind of combing through it to change things that might seem good to consumers, that might gain that trust back with consumers, and these are the types of changes that they're making. Some of the changes in other Blizzard games, like Overwatch, have been a visible step away from the shocking stories described in the lawsuit. Others haven't been so helpful, such as the renaming of achievements to remove the words sack and hoe, and now they're changing paintings in the game. There are people leaving World of Warcraft in droves because of imbalanced gameplay, not enough new content, and the game's getting stale, yet they're going back to paintings to update them. These are their priorities. So Wowhead had actually shared this, and this post is getting completely ratioed, okay? There are no people, it seems like, that are happy with these changes. It says some in-game paintings have received updates on the 9.1.5 PTR to tone down their sexuality, and they are getting thousands and thousands of comments saying how bad of a move this truly is. So as you can see, on the left is the original painting, and on the right is the new one. They added like this white fabric to the middle of her body. They completely covered up her stomach area. They covered up any cleavage that she had, and they did shrink her boobs. The face does look better on the right side, but clearly the new one is much higher quality. But World of Warcraft isn't a game for kids. It's a game with adult language, adult jokes, violence. So why does it matter if a few paintings are sexy? And they even went on to change more designs, more characters, because they literally replaced a painting of a female with fruit. This is absolutely ridiculous. Instead of remastering the painting of the woman, they literally replaced her with fruits, with oranges and lemons, and tons of people also think that this is absolutely ridiculous. I want to read a couple of the comments here. I had actually said taking out a painting of an attractive woman in a game for adults to protect a fictional woman's body. That's Blizzard in a nutshell, apparently. Quartering had said this definitely makes up for the years of harassment by leadership. Sexism is defeated. So another commenter said, I don't know why Blizzard cares so much about stuff like this. Like, who the F cares about a painting that most people didn't even know existed? And it's true. People say to me, oh, why are you complaining about these insignificant changes? Because, oh, these changes are nothing important. So my question is, why did they change them? If it's such a small, insignificant thing, why did they put the time into changing these things like paintings? It's not just about small changes. It's about the narrative and the attitude that these companies are trying to push. When you take everything in totality, you can see they're pushing desexualizing characters and even paintings based on the presumption that's what modern audiences want. When it comes to censorship, you either call all of it out and don't support any of it, or you just let it happen. The big lawsuit that came out against them a few months ago basically painted every male that's part of Activision Blizzard as terrible people that do nothing but insult and objectify women. But apparently the higher-ups at the company are making sure developers are getting work done to keep players around, like changing random paintings in the game where a woman might be showing a little too much cleavage. And this isn't the first time that Blizzard has censored content in their games. There are plenty of other examples. Let's go to this one. Hearthstone artwork changes are not censorship, says Blizzard. They literally tried to say, oh, we're not censoring things, we're just slightly changing them, which is ridiculous. So this article is actually from 2019, but Blizzard's been censoring things for years, so I wanted to bring it up. Here is the art for Bite. The old one is on the left, the right one is the new version. On the left, you can tell that he's biting into something, there's blood, there's a little bit of violence there, but on the right, no. The new version doesn't have any of that. No blood, no biting into anything. The creature is basically just showing off his teeth to look a little bit intimidating. Deadly Shot. Here's another great example of the censorship that Blizzard's been doing over the years. On the left, the old Deadly Shot is an arrow actually going into a character, and on the right, the arrow is going away from the character, away from the battle. So there's none of that blood or that violence anymore. Of course, these are the types of things that clearly matter to Hearthstone players. In this example, they decided to completely change the card and get rid of the female character. On the left is Succubus. You can see she's clearly there. She's not wearing a lot. She's very sexy. And on the right, they basically just changed the card to Fellstalker, and the female is nowhere to be found. They decided to completely remove this card from the game in hopes that people would be okay with the new Fellstalker art. Here's another one, Wind Fury Harpy. Clearly, they've changed the position of her. They've made it so the wings are covering up a lot of her body. They're just trying to make a lot of changes, thinking that, oh, people are going to be okay with this. You know, it's only one or two small changes, but all of these changes do add up, and people don't forget about things like this. And if those weren't enough examples of Blizzard censoring things in their games, here's another article from only a couple of months ago that I talked about. World of Warcraft has begun censoring slurs in-game. Using reserved words will now block your messages from being sent entirely. They're even censoring player speech in their games now. It says World of Warcraft will now block messages containing reserved words arriving as part of a small moderation update discovered by Wowhead. For years, WoW has censored certain words by obfuscation as part of a mature language filter, but now it appears the game will block messages from being sent entirely if they contain so-called reserved words. Over the years, Blizzard has definitely made a lot of games that people do genuinely love, and a lot of people do really love World of Warcraft, but unfortunately, these are the things that developers are worried on. Instead of focusing on making new content for their games, fixing mechanics, and fixing bugs that are in their titles, they're worried about changing paintings, so maybe this game will appeal more to modern audiences. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way. But I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.